A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant ruling that has stirred controversy, 2 federal judges have declined requests to extend voter registration deadlines in Georgia and Florida, despite the hardships caused by Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The storms have wreaked havoc across the Southeast, resulting in the loss of over 200 lives and leaving millions without power. Civil rights groups, including the NAACP and the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda, argued that the storms created substantial barriers to voter registration, claiming that many residents were unable to register ahead of the November 5th elections due to these challenges. However, U.S. District Judge Eleanor Ross in Atlanta and Judge Robert Hinkle in Tallahassee found the arguments presented by the plaintiffs unconvincing. In her bench ruling, Judge Ross stated that the plaintiffs did not provide sufficient evidence to demonstrate that individuals were unable to register due to the storms. "We did not hear from anyone specifically who could not register to vote," she remarked. The judge's decisions have sparked outrage among civil rights advocates who argue that the rulings effectively disenfranchise voters who were affected by the hurricanes. The plaintiffs contended that the hurricanes disrupted their voter registration efforts, as many had to cancel events aimed at helping residents register. They highlighted that historically, there is a surge in voter registrations leading up to deadlines, and the storm significantly impacted this trend. "Here we're talking about, in many circumstances, complete disenfranchisement for prospective voters," said Amir Badat, a lawyer representing the groups. Despite the testimony provided by the plaintiffs, Judge Ross ruled that the testimony lacked the necessary detail to establish a direct link between the hardships faced and the inability to register. Furthermore, the judges noted that the state had already initiated processes for the upcoming elections, including mailing absentee ballots and scheduling early in-person voting. This raised concerns that extending the registration deadline could disrupt the electoral process. Ross emphasized that the potential harm to the state's interests outweighed the plaintiffs' claims. The Georgia NAACP and other groups have expressed their determination to continue fighting for voter rights, with Helen Butler, the executive director of the Coalition for the People's Agenda, stating, "We're still going to fight to make sure every voter's rights are protected. We believe voters were harmed, but this doesn't deter us." The lawsuits in both states are reflective of broader national concerns regarding voter access and the impact of natural disasters on electoral participation. While Georgia has approximately 8.2 million registered voters, the outcome of the presidential race in 2020 was decided by a mere 12,000 votes, underscoring the potential significance of every vote. In Florida, similar arguments were made regarding the inability of residents to register due to the storms, but the federal judge in that state also denied the request for an extension. Advocates are now considering whether to appeal the judge's decisions, as they believe the storms have created a unique situation that warrants a re-evaluation of voter registration processes. The situation has drawn comparisons to previous instances where courts have granted extensions in the wake of natural disasters, such as Hurricane Matthew in 2016. As the November elections approach, the debate over voter registration accessibility continues to intensify, with advocates calling for urgent action to ensure that all eligible voters have the opportunity to participate in the democratic process. The implications of these rulings could resonate beyond the immediate election, as they raise critical questions about the intersection of natural disasters, civil rights, and electoral integrity. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.